Last week we started to try to reproduce the beautiful Atmos website. We built the foundations but still have a lot to do to make it look good. Spoiler alert, at the end of this video it starts looking nice. Hello, welcome to this new episode of Wow Atmos. If you haven't seen the first episode, I highly recommend you to do so to have more context. That being said, we still have a lot to do on this project and a lot to learn, so let's go. Let's add text to our scene. Thanks to Drei library, it is very simple and two examples are provided. We declare a text for the new line use \n. We set the color to white, the anchor to determine from where the item is positioned, a font size and a max width to automatically create a new line if text overflows. Here it is. As later we will have sections, let's wrap it in a group to position it. Now it's further away and scrolling gets us closer to it. I chose envMap display and enter from Google Fonts and added to public/fonts. Now we can specify the font in the prop. Let's create a second text section, one with a title named Services and a normal message for the title. We use envMap display font and make it bigger. We put the smaller text below. If we change the anchor, it's more difficult to position the text based on the content. As we want it to be always below services, it's easier to use the top position as an anchor. Time to clean a bit our scene. Still, it's not the final version. Let's reduce the float intensity, speed and rotation intensity to make it smoother. Move our text further away from us and recreate some bigger clouds. To create the final curve, we can re-enable orbit controls and display perspective camera the time to set our points. That way we can fly over. To make things easier, I use the constant named curve distance to be able to change the depth of the curve. All our z points position will be multiple of it. I made it go from center to right, to left, to right, to center. Once you are happy with your curve, re-enable perspective camera and disable orbit controls. Now our curve is nice, but the previous algorithm isn't made for those high values. Before fixing it, let's change how much we can scroll. I chose to set 100 pages to be able to scroll a lot, and a damping of 1 to make it smoother. It scrolls smoother, but the scroll bar is too long. As Atmos uses a custom scroll bar, we can copy a bit their style. Their one is a custom one that allows them to have some distance from the borders. We will do it in the last part of the tutorial. For the moment we have this. It still scrolls a lot, but the thumb is big enough to look nice. Now let's improve our scroll and rotation algorithm in the useFrame function. Let's get the scroll in the scroll offset variable. To avoid having a negative value on Mac, we use math.max with 0 and our scroll.offset value. I noticed I was doing something useless to get the point on the curve. There's already a function on the curve named getPoint that takes a value between 0 and 1, and it's precisely what we have. We will also use a point ahead the current one that we will look into to rotate the camera and the plane. We use the scroll offset plus a small value. With our values it equals approximately 5 units. Order the code by moving the position lerp we already had below curve point. Time to rotate in direction of the point instead of our weird calculation. We will use the lookat method that takes an object and rotate it towards the target. Unfortunately, it cannot lerp, so we have to do some calculation. We get our current lookat direction with getWord direction. And to get target lookat direction, we subtract our current point with our lookat point. Now we can declare lookat the lerped direction and call lookat on our camera group by adding the lookat direction to its current position. Now our camera rotates correctly. Let's rotate our airplane. To get the angle of rotation on the curve, we use the tangent of a point further ahead on the curve. We also need to calculate the non-lerped lookat position to avoid our rotation to be affected by the smooth effect on the camera. As our camera follows the curve, we need to apply the inverse of the lookat rotation to calculate the correct angle, whatever the direction is. Then we create our quaternion to be able to rotate our airplane smoothly with slurp. We have two problems. The plane is 90 degrees on the left and the effect isn't strong enough. To fix the angle rotation, we can add -math.pi onto to it. To strengthen the effect, we convert the angle rotation from radian to degrees. We multiply it by a constant, and to avoid it to go too far on the left and right, we limit it to a constant airplane max angle of 35. We finish by converting angle back to radian. Now the effect looks very good. Before jumping to the lighting effect, let's do some polish. We don't need a too high number on line points, we can reduce it to 1000. Remove the opacity on the line and make it thinner by reducing its shape. On our plane, let's turn it white with a mesh standard material, and to have some more depth, add a directional light with a low intensity. To make our background impact the lighting of the scene, we can wrap our background into the environment component instead of using a preset. We need to add the prop background to it and to remove lighting and transmission on the layer material. Now look, the clouds and plane have a blue light on top and white on the bottom. How does it work? In fact, environment under the hood uses a cube render target. What it means is our scene inside environment is rendered and captured by a cube camera. Then it's used as the environment, so our lights are from the scene inside the environment. You can check more about render target if you want to learn more about it. On Atmos, I noticed that the environment effect is reversed compared to the background. So let's duplicate our background sphere and use variables for the colors and start and values. Rotate halfway the environment sphere on the x-axis. That way we will have the blue on the bottom and the white on the top. It blends nicely together. If I cancel the rotation, it's blue on top and white below. I prefer the reverse. Let's use different static colors, but we will animate them based on the scroll event later. Nice one, but the text popped because our sphere is too small. Let's increase the scale to 500. Later we will add a fading effect on text and clouds. Looks cool, we can increase the envMap intensity to 2 on the line and clouds to make them more impacted by the environment colors. Perfect, it's starting to look very good. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm very happy with the current results we have and I'm very impatient to go on the next steps. We still have to adjust the entire scene with nicely positioned cloud and text sections, add post-processing and fading effects on elements, create a timeline to slow down the curve on the text sections, but also to animate our background colors and finally create the loading ending screen. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified when the third part is released. Unfortunately, it will be in 2 weeks as I will go on holiday. Please smash the like button if you want to help this content be more visible to other developers. And if you can't wait, I highly recommend you to watch this video here.